Okay then, Raiders, we are back and we've got loads to go over today. So we've got a brand new weekly trials reset leading into a bit of controversy with regards to one of the tasks. After that, we have also got to take a look at the Discord as Embark has responded to a comment about the decks moving forward. Very interesting one, as well as probably the most game-breaking thing I think I've ever seen inside of this game. This one needs to be fixed ASAP, which is why we're bringing attention to it. And then we've also got to talk about PvP inside of this game, as it's definitely taken a bit of a turn over the last week or so, and it may have had something to do with the streamer wars. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you're checking out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we've now got sugar-free tinned alternatives. The link's in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. And if you want a free copy of the game, or if you've got the game and want Raider tokens, well, our giveaway today is a simple one. Head down into the comment section and put in any coloured love heart, and it'll enter you in. We'll be announcing that in the next few days. With that being said, let's dive into the game, see what's happening right now inside of Arc Raiders. So starting off, we need to take a look at the new weekly trials, which are causing a little bit of a controversy over online. As we can see here, the first one that we have is the Damage Rocketeers. Now, the Damage Rocketeers is going to be quite a difficult one. If you haven't got a hull cracker, and even then, that thing's been nerfed into the ground just recently, if you want to do this, make sure you're doing it with squad mates. Going in as a team and just going and taking these things out is definitely a lot easier, as they can be extremely challenging. If you've never gone up against one, then I would say probably go up a few times before you actually go for the takeout. Moving on from that, though, we've got the download data during hidden bunker. Now, this one is a really controversial one, because this one, a lot of people were wanting to do prior and were not actually able to get done. This is inside of an actual event inside of the game, which is obviously the hidden bunker ports on Spaceport, meaning that there is a very, very slim chance that you are going to be able to get it done on a lobby, especially with the way that the game is at the moment. Back beforehand, when it first came up, people were queuing up at the data download stations and taking turns downloading the data for the hidden bunker. Unfortunately, now the game has taken a bit of a turn, so it may be a little bit harder. After that, we've got the Search First Wave Husks, and this one's a really easy one. If you head over to Dam, it's very, very simple to get that one done as long as you're in the swamped off areas. You'll find them no end. Damaging snitches, I would recommend over on Spaceport, because, well, snitches are so easy to find over there because it's such a wide and open space that if you take an O-spray, you can just take these things off for quite some time. And then on top of that, we've got the damage ground-based arc enemies. Now, there's numerous ways that you can go about this, but if you want to get these done quicker, I would aim for the larger ones, such as the bastions. And the best way to do that is generally in a squad, having one person aggro it, so it has got a bit of a direction that it's going to be aiming at, while you run into the back end of it and put in a deadline. Now, if you do want to get hold of some of the deadlines, you can obviously purchase them. It's very, very simple to purchase, but they've again recently just had a bit of a nerf, so you can only purchase one at a time, and these are of an epic variant for 15,000 coins. Now, if you are like me, you would have already stocked up on a few of them before the nerf came in, so you should have some in your inventory currently. If not, then, well, you want to start shooting out those ticks, the fireballs, the pops, and anything that is pretty much renowned for being on the ground. Quite an easy one overall, but it's still a trials that people are not overly happy with, mainly because of the download data from the hidden bunker movement. Let me know what you guys are thinking of these, if you've already started issuing your point system, and where it is that you actually placed in the last one. I was extremely unfortunate as I took a day off on Sunday, and during that one day, somebody knocked me down from 8th position all the way down to 21st. Needless to say, I had a little bit of a cry this morning. Nonetheless, though, we've got to dive into other news, as Embark has been responding to people over on Discord. One of the only pieces of information which was relatively important was a question coming from this guy right here that states, I was wondering, are the decks going to be free for the foreseeable future? If not, will there be a way to spend the blue credits any other way? Which is actually quite an interesting question, and something a lot of you guys have been wondering. With regards to the decks in the future, we know full well that there will be premium decks, and there will also be free decks, but I don't know how this is all going to operate again, because the system is going to be changing. Embark states that she doesn't have 100% confirmation on this one just yet. They are currently waiting for more info with regards to it, and hopefully it comes soon, as the next deck is going to be available in December, with just a couple of weeks time for that one to actually come up. Overall, quite an interesting one again, because the decks are going to be quite an important maneuver. We have got around just a few weeks before that actually becomes, again, irrelevant. We don't know if they're going to be accessible afterwards or if they're just going to be written directly off, or at least to my knowledge. And even then, we don't have an exact date of when these things are going to turn over. Let me know your opinions on the decks and whether you think that they should be free moving forward and accessible for the foreseeable future. And next up, we have got this incredibly weird glitch right here that everybody seems to be using. At the moment, it seems to be really, really bad, and Embark need to try and fix it. This zipline thing that's just running through the middle of the map is taking people out of the map, and it's really, really game-breaking. I'm not going to show you guys how to do it because we're not that sort of channel, but I'm sure you wouldn't have difficulty in finding it. But Embark, if you are watching this one's a must definitely fix. Moving in from that, though, the game is taking a weird turn. At the moment, the player base is not being hit. As you can see right here, the Steam charts are still running at peak concurrent stages. It's one of those games, actually, that over a month after the game actually releases, we can see that there is still a decent amount of people playing the game. There's a slight addiction to it, granted. Everybody is really enjoying it, but the numbers still are persistently from around the 300,000 to the 500,000 mark for peak concurrent inside a 24-hour period. It's really, really good to see, although this recent week has been a very, very challenging one. If you guys have been playing the game much over the last few days, you will have noticed that since the streamer war that happened on Saturday over on Spiceport, everybody is now just shooting first. Now, obviously, the game is supposed to be PvP. I'm not going to be one of those people that gets aggroed about it via the gameplay in the background. You know that I've been enjoying the PvP aspect as well. Unfortunately, majority of the game now, at this stage where people are now hitting complete top rank, they've completely finished their decks, they're not too bothered about having the trials runs after they've completed those after a day or two. They're now just running in and killing as many people as they possibly can. I don't know how I feel about it. It's made the game a little bit harder to be able to get any sort of challenges done, and at least for the more casual player, it's going to make the game a lot more difficult. So I want to know what side of the fence you guys sit on. Are you one of those hardcore guys that is more than happy just to run PvP 24/7, or do you actually realize that if we are so heavily leaned into the PvP aspect of it, that the player base will start to drop generally around the casual gamer? It's a really tricky one, but hopefully we come to a resolution. And finally, Arc Raiders posted up on Twitter, and it's actually quite an interesting one. So much so that I want to know the answer to it from you guys. This states, Roly Boys, Mozzies, and Scrapheads, Raiders sure are coming up with some creative slang in the field. What nicknames have your squad come up with for each Arc enemy? Let me know via the comments section exactly what you guys have been using. I think the only one that I really lean into quite a lot is the ticks, and I just like to call them the little buggers. They're an absolute nightmare, and now they are spawning more than bloody ever in packs of 3 and 4. It's an absolute nightmare to get them, but nonetheless, they are definitely a lot more easier to take out than the Queen or the Matriarch. Moving forward, though, we've got to take a look at your top comments from the previous video. If you guys had a lot to say in the last one, where we spoke about how the devs had shown so much throughout their first episode, the December update, and actually had loads more to go over. So if you've not seen that update and that upload, make sure that you go and check that out via the channel, as well as loads of other updates coming up on a weekly basis. This first comment right here, coming from Mega Spyro, states, I hope that one day they will make an aquatic map or a flood condition. Now, I don't think there will be an aquatic map per se, but I do love the idea of a flood condition, actually like minimizing the map, where a condition actually eradicates a lot of the lower formations inside of the game, meaning that you actually, if you were to utilize the dam, would have to use the highway to be able to get above certain areas. I think it would be really cool. It might be a little bit much, but I think that the flood condition could actually operate quite well inside of this game. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that one. This next one, coming from Baron Spamedi, states right here, I think they should give XP rewards for helping other raiders. Now, obviously, it draws quite a difficult line there as to what would define helping another raider. If you were actually utilizing that, where would the line be drawn? Just saving somebody from being shot, or actually utilizing a defib on another raider? Where would it is it that that one would go? Because I think it'd be really difficult to give XP for something like that. I don't know how they would operate that one. And finally, this one right here, coming from Dean, states, literally couldn't care less for the streamer wars. Now, it was a very, very interesting weekend. I did go in and check out the Burnt Peanut stream during the streamer wars, and it just sort of seemed that he ran around with just a load of people with his skin, causing chaos and carnage. carnage to pretty much just random people on their own. It wasn't exactly the most non-toxic one possible. It was a little bit of a strange one, but what it has done is it has made people a little bit more salty inside of the game, meaning that the shoot on sight narrative is now probably bigger than ever, making it so damn difficult for those of you guys who tried to go in for the PvE aspect. I know obviously PvP is a part of the game. I've heard it a million times and I completely agree with you, but at the same time, it can be a bit of a nightmare and it will put a lot of people off. And that's not unfortunate enough. That's just the truth. Unfortunately, though, that's all we've got time for today. If you guys are enjoying the Arc Raiders content, please do reward the video with a beautiful like button being slapped, as I'm trying really, really hard to make sure that we provide as much as we possibly can. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel for everything Arc Raiders and any updates, changes, and more you know you'll find here. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Appreciate your faces. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.